Hi everyone. In the previous video we have dealt with the simplifications first step, that is simplification of context free grammar. First steps we have done, that is removing of null production. In the second step, that is the second step to be done for the simplification of context free grammar, is to check whether it has useless production. If it has useless production, it must be what removed. Okay, so what you mean by a useless production? Any terminal that any non-terminal that does not derives a terminal, that is called what? Useless. For example, if I am getting a production P and it derives AQB, look at here, P derives AQB. It is not deriving what? A terminal or one terminal or more than one terminal. That is, for example, if it was deriving AB, it is a useful production. But here it is not deriving terminal, it is deriving a combination of terminal or non-terminal, or a combination of non-terminals only. Then it is called what? Useless production. Once again I will say, any production that does not derive a terminal is called what? A useless production. For example, look at here. Here Q is there, isn't it? Q is there, and this I have said for example only, and don't visualize this. Up to here is only our example. P derives AQB and P does not derives what? Terminal. Any production that must be deriving a terminal, then only it is useful in any context of context free grammar, isn't it? Any terminal, any non-terminal which is to be done must derive some meaningful sentence, otherwise there is no useful for that non-terminal. So if it is not deriving a terminal, then that non-terminal is called what? A useless production. So you must keep in mind, any non-terminal that is not deriving a terminal, that is said to be what? Useless production. It must derive terminal, then only it is useful in the context of what? Context free grammars. Okay, so then only it is useful in the case of computers or when we do parsing itself. So look at here the example, which all are useless. Here yes is the production, we can't avoid yes is every time starting symbol is a useful production, it is not useless. That you must keep in mind. By default start symbol is a useful production. Look at here, A derives A, so this is a useful production. It must derive at least one terminal. At least one terminal it is deriving, then it is said to be what? Useful production. B derives AA, that is also what? Useful. But look at here, C derives ACB. C is not deriving what? Terminal set. So this is what? Useless. So this production becomes what? Useless. So when C becomes useless, wherever C is specified, that also become what? Useless. Okay, so this C production becomes what? Useless. So the grammar after removing useless production becomes AS gives AS or A gives A, or B gives AA. Okay, that's very simple. You must look into the useless production, that is production which have no terminal derivation, that is called what? Useless. So that production, that non-terminal is avoided. If that non-terminal production is avoided, wherever the non-terminal comes, that also becomes what? Avoided. Okay, so we get this. We can see the next example, it will be more clear to you. Look at here, which all non-terminals are useless. B is useless, isn't it? B does not derives any terminal production, so B becomes what? Useless. Look at here, B becomes useless. Okay, B is avoided, so B's productions are what? Avoided. wherever B comes, it must be avoided. Here B comes, that production, that derivation is avoided. Here B comes, that production is what? Avoided. So in any remaining? No. So our production becomes S gives C A gives what? A, C gives B. So very simple. The removing of useless production, you must point out that non-terminals which are useless. What do you mean by useless? Any non-terminal that is not deriving a terminal symbol, that is said to be useless. So avoid it. When you are avoiding it, wherever other production that non-terminal comes, that also be avoided. So when you map or check it with the previous examples also, that also contain useless production. So you do it yourself. That is that in that production also there is useless. Or if you are making a simplified context-free grammar, after null production removal, you must remove what? Useless production also. Okay. So in the next video, we are moving to the next step of the simplification. That is, we have seen two steps: removing of null production, removing of the useless production. Next is the removing of the unit production. So see you. Thank you.